To my right, I have my starting quarterback, Kent Peoples, sophomore, huge arm, very strong, gym rat. I'm really excited about him. To his right, we have middle linebacker and outside linebacker Tyson Meyer, making a conversion over from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball. To his right, we have a big-time playmaker, Mikael Myrick, speedy receiver, has a bunch of top-end speed. I'm really excited to see him play this year. And then to my left, I have a young, up-and-coming running back that I think is going to light this area on fire this year, DJ Hepburn. And then to his left, we have another linebacker of mine, great leader, tremendous heart, tremendous character, and another gym rat, Charlie Miller. We've been putting in a lot of work this year, this summer especially. Of course, we're trying to reestablish a positive culture, get caught up with some of the other teams in this area, teams like many other ones in here. I see Childs just walked in, that have been in the weight room. Coach has done a great job of getting them in the weight room and establishing a culture of hard work through pushing an iron, and that's what we've been doing these last 6 months. We've had a chance to really grow together and develop a bond, go through some ups and downs, and to tell you the truth, I'm really excited about this year's team. I think one thing that we have that a lot of people are overlooking is our athleticism. We're extremely athletic, extremely fast, and now we've added some strength to that equation, so I'm extremely happy about that.
Okay, now we'd like to open it up for questions to the Leon Lions from the panel.
Coach, ever since you took the position, you've talked so much about the history at Leon and, of course, what Big Red means. Just what does it mean to you, and how important is it to you for Leon to be a successful, thriving program, not just here in the city, but across the Big Bend?
I think every coach in here has the same sentiments. Like, everybody gets into coaching to compete. So I don't know if it means any more or less than any other coach in here to go out there and put our best product out there on the field. But for me, acknowledging the history, the Gene Cox and the Jimmy and the Coach Stalls and so many other big-time players, Brad Culpepper and Tamari Vanover, and the list goes on, of guys that have contributed to this Big Bend area. In the past, Leon has had a storied history. I think Leon is kind of, I hate to say it this way, but the foundation of Tallahassee football, because so many other coaches have kind of came up underneath the umbrella, watched Gene Cox, wanted to mimic that. So we have a great history. And to tell you the truth, I've never failed in life or anything I've done. I don't plan on failing now. And I put a lot of pressure on myself to change this program, and I think all of our guys have put that same pressure on themselves to change this program and go out. My seniors want to go out like winners, and my underclassmen want to change this program. So we're just working every day to do that, and I think every day we add a little pressure on ourselves because I think everybody in here wants to get 1% better. Am I correct? Like, that's what we do every day. We get 1% better. So when you talk about getting 1% better, that means that your expectations should rise, right? So every day we're working a little bit harder. I'm pushing them a little bit harder, and to tell you the truth, they'll probably tell you I'm a bit bipolar because I'm going to push them a little bit harder every day, and they're going to say, well, this was acceptable yesterday, and it's not today. Yeah, you're right, it's not. Get out my weight room. So we push them hard.
Going along with history, why don't we just start with Kemp here, your quarterback, and each one of y'all, so it's coming at you. Who's your hero that played for the Leon Lions? Who are you trying to be like? Let's start with the quarterback.
I'd say I'd like to be, shoot, I forgot his name. Oh yeah, Paxton. He was Ryan Sexton. Who is that? Yeah, I'd say Paxton.
Billy Sexton. You talking about Billy?
Wyatt. Billy.
Wyatt? Who would
Wyatt Sexton.
Okay.
All right, yeah, sure. I try to be like him. He has a huge arm.
Very
And
What traits, characteristics do you like about him? You want to carry that history we're talking about here?
shoot, I can't think. Dang.
We can
All
come
right.
back to you.
Yeah,
Next
come
up,
back
the
to
next
you.
guy, he can talk about who's his hero at Leon. We all got a hero at Leon. I got one. Dean Cox.
I would like to be a lot like someone who played last year named Elijah Nash, just because he's the hardest worker I've ever met, and yeah, I just feel like that's something that is going to be modeled after. So.
All right, keep it going. Keep your mic going.
He played 2 years ago. His name was Samaj James. I want to be like him. Like, I model my game after him, even though he's like a bit taller than me, stronger than me. But yeah, he's a hard worker.
I want to be like Curtis Williams because he's like real fast and athletic and explosive, and I want to like model my game after him.
I want to be like Gene Cox just because I want to win.
That answered that question. That's the best answer of the day right there.
I want to piggyback off of that really quick and just, I know we have a lot of guys in here, and this was something that I pride myself in, is knowing where you come from as a school, knowing the people that came before you, and I think that's what he's trying to highlight. As a coach, I try to, I'm not going to lie and say I'm just a carbon copy from Coach Mike Hickman to Coach Cruz. Everybody in here should try to find someone that you can mimic, and then you can add your own style to that based off of your athletic gifts. And so, as a coach, like you said, of course, Gene Cox, I've heard a lot about Gene Cox. I've heard a lot about Coach Sauls, Coach McClinton, so many other guys that have come through Leon. But I think all of my guys up here add a different flair and a different culture that they're not familiar with yet, but hopefully in the next 10 years someone wants to be like them.
Good answer.
Coach Dominic Moran at WCTV, you talk about changing the program. What are the kind of core, postulates of what you want to implement in the Leon football culture for your first year, the head of the program?
Education, determination, commitment, and sacrifice. Because as coaches, we're teachers. That's really what we are. We're teachers. We're not anything else but a teacher. And I have to teach the game. And at some points, of course, that comes with some level of motivation that we have to add into that. But my players have to be great students. I believe that you can find a great athlete anywhere. But if you want to find a great competitor, look at his grades. Because if you compete in the classroom and you understand that life is about competition, when you get out there in the football field, you're going to do the exact same thing that you've been doing every day, and that's working hard to produce a better product. So education is extremely important. We do grade checks. We do all those things to make sure our players are doing the small things to give themselves an opportunity to be successful in life. And then, of course, commitment and perseverance. Our guys know it's not easy. Last week we ran 32 100s. It's not going to be easy. And it's hard for a reason. Personally, I don't want 150 guys, 170 guys. I feel like they can come play for me. I want people that feel like they've made it through something. Like it's a badge of honor. So that commitment and perseverance is something that I want to teach.
I have a question about recruiting inside the school. You mentioned a lot of going around the halls and getting players excited, getting players into the program. What's the effort been like in getting people at Leon and around Leon excited for the program, especially in a competitive scene inside Leon County and in the Big Bend?
That's a great question. It's no secret. Like, we've been losing kids left and right to different schools. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody in here has somebody playing for their team that should be going to Leon. Like, it's no secret. So the first thing is getting the guys from Leon to understand that they can have success being a part of our program. Everybody wants to be affiliated with the winner. I don't know anybody that says I want to go out there because they're losing, right? So when we establish a culture of winning, and I think we win We have little small victories every day. And anybody that follows my social media, that's all I celebrate, is like the little small victories every day. And so celebrating those victories is the first step in getting those guys from the hallways. Leon, we have 2,000 students. I know 60 of them can play football. I just got to find those 60. We have some guys walking around the hallways that probably should be at football, and they're not there. This summer, I made sure I was teaching summer school because we have guys that have been ineligible because they just haven't been motivated to figure out, hey, I really want to do this. So I made sure I taught summer school, and I'm going to do the same thing next year. I have a great relationship with our guidance counselors, making sure that I'm checking the test scores, the FSA scores, making sure that I give all these guys the opportunity to go to college, because I don't think anybody comes out here and puts in all this work and then say, all right, most guys want to have an opportunity to play in college. So I think everybody here has traveled to a camp with me this summer, and for the most part, if they're there, I'm there. So getting them in college is another way that I try to make sure we recruit the hallways. This is the arrogance and cockiness in me. There's not going to be a coach that's going to work harder for their kids, because that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm getting another degree for, to figure out how I can help them academically. That's what I gave my life for. So, and I'm pretty sure every coach in here has sacrificed a whole lot of family time for them. So I'm not going to sacrifice all this family time, not see my son, not see my daughter, to give them a halfway effort. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it big. I'm going to go hard for them. And I think the players see that.
For any of the guys, what's been the biggest difference in the program over the last 8 months since Coach came to Leon?
At first, no one was showing up like last year with our old coach. Like, we maybe had 20 kids per workouts. Now we have like 60, 70, 80 at workouts. So he just installed more discipline, and I think it'll just get better and better.
I have one more question for the players. Being at camp yesterday, I talked about there's a lot of excitement, ambition, and the biggest thing about you guys, you feel, is you work hard and you guys are gritty this season. I guess, how are you guys using that to motivate you going into this regular season, and looking for a different record from last year?
It's motivating us because we want to do better and help the team out and get more kids out there, because if we keep losing, we just lose more players and nobody want to come to Leon, and we tired of losing.
Coach, Andrew Parker Sports. Quick question. As far as Leon, you talked about the history and educating that to your kids and reiterating that to your student athletes. Last decade or so, when Leon was successful, defense and run game, at least on the field, was kind of the pillars of success. As far as stuff on the field, what are you looking to implement? And I'd love to hear from some of the guys how that's going so far.
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's no secret. In the spring game, the first half, we didn't look very tough. And I think the second half, we established that toughness by just kind of altering exactly what you said. We went to a downhill running style. Taking one from, where is Coach at? Where is Coach KP at? Did he leave the room? No. He's gonna run the ball, and I believe, to tell you the truth, if we're gonna win, especially in Tallahassee with all these great athletes, we're gonna have to win by testing your heart. So, my running backs, they're gonna tote. DJ Helpburn, Malik Jackson, Centel DeShazier, Josiah Raven. We have a stable, and everybody's gonna see them. And then hopefully, once we establish a dominance, I'm aggressive. I do everything aggressive. That's just who I am. So hopefully my team is aggressive. If not, I'm gonna have some sleepless nights. And once we establish that aggression, then I can get Kemp's arm warmed up, and we can test their speed and make it a track meet. So that's basically, like you said, we want to run the ball, but we're not going to forget that we're Our 4x1 team came in fourth at state. I'm going to use that speed, and they're going to be all over the field.